Hi everyone, it's Gio here. Today we will be doing another product review. Let's see what we have. We have Figutech Scorp Mini 2 Gimbal. Alright, let's open our box and see what we have inside. Well, the first thing, of course, are beautiful solid carrying bag case. And second thing is the extension pole. Let's open the case. The case itself is, it really gives you the quality vibe. It's quite rigid, and I must say with the things inside it's somewhat heavy. Well, we see the first thing comes in front of us is the warning. It says, please do not power on the gimbal until balancing and installation of the camera smartphone has been done. What we see, it is really nice, chic design gimbal itself. It's quite solid, and definitely it doesn't give you the vibe of a cheap product. In fact, it's not cheap product. Of course, it has better price compared to other expensive alternatives such as DJI. And here we have the tripod attachment, and here we have the lens plate, and here we have the L plate where we will be placing vertical or horizontal style. And we have another small box here. Let's see what's inside. We have all different types of cables. Wow, there are a lot, and I believe one of them must be charging cable, lens support adapter, and we have the lock screws and the alien keys. And here we have the adapter for, I believe, for action camera, because this model you can use it with mirrorless cameras, with mobile phones, and action cameras. Let's just put these aside and go ahead with the other side of the case, because here we have some more stuff and it is beautifully covered. Here we have the mobile phone attachment, and here we have the quick release plate, which we will be using it to attach our camera. And of course, this set comes with magnetic wireless LED light. I think that's a great addition to that. Let's open and test it out. It is very small and compact design. It's great, and it has this magnet plate. This piece you will have to stick it to wherever you like on the gimbal, and then it would just stick on this plate. And there's a small button you're gonna press long and it turns it on. And here we have the slider. It allows you to adjust the brightness of the light. It's great. It's not really strong, but it's great addition. It's better than nothing. I think this is really good touch. Just to quickly show you, we will be doing the balancing later on. Just to quickly show you how you will be unlocking these buttons. You're just gonna push them down, so it releases the lock. Another one here, another one here. It's loose to move. This, you have to do that before doing the balancing. Hi folks, I'm back. I did my balancing of my Scorp Mini 2 gimbal. I gotta be honest, it might be overwhelming if you are doing it for the first time, if you have never did the balancing and adjusting for a gimbal. That's why it took some time for me as well. But after you get the gist of it, after you understand the mechanics of it, it actually gets easier every time you do the balance. So for the first time, you may have difficulties, doing that, understanding the mechanics of it, but I promise you, it gets easier. Quickly, I'll show you how to do the balancing. However, I will use my mobile phone when I'm doing the balancing, as I'm using the camera over here. Mechanics of the mobile phone balancing on the gimbal is quite similar to the camera as well. You just need to do a little bit different balancing, like tuning, because of the weight difference. So it's not any more difficult than doing the camera or vice versa. It's just the same, but because of the weight difference, balancing may require a little bit more fine-tuning for camera than the phone. Let's start to do the balancing for the phone now. All we need is now tripod legs and place it already. Second thing we need is the phone attachment. It's very simple, just using this handle, unlock it and slide the phone attachment. Just like that. And that's it. Lock it, it's safe. Let's go ahead and place our phone on the holder. One more thing, you can actually use it vertically or horizontal. All you have to do is just rotate it. For our purpose, we're gonna use it on a horizontal mode, so we're gonna keep it this way. And one more thing, please do not turn on the gimbal before you do the balance. And of course, you need to unlock all the axis locks. So we're gonna go ahead, unlock our tilt axis here and our roll axis over here. We're gonna place the gimbal in front of us like this. We lock back the roll axis, it stays like that. So we're gonna do the first balancing from the tilt axis. What we need is our phone to stay stable, the camera looking forward. And to be able to do that, you see when we release it, it's just gonna roll over. That means center of gravity is not balanced. What we need is this position. And how we're gonna do that? We're gonna unlock the handle and slide phone adapter until we find the center of gravity so our phone can stay like this. There it is. Once we release it, it's gonna stay in this position. And now we're gonna go ahead, do the adjustment on the roll axis. After we are done with the tilt axis balancing, we're gonna go ahead and lock this part. And now we're gonna do the roll balancing. So for that, we're gonna unlock this part. Here, what we need is this axis to stay stable like this. With this knob here, we are going to unlock it and do the fine tuning. As you can see, when I leave it like this, it's going left. So what I need to do is slide it a little bit to the right to change the center of gravity. Just like that. And I'm gonna lock it back. After we are done with the roll balancing, roll axis balancing, we're gonna go do the pan axis balancing. So we unlock this part, we rotate it like this, and all we need is when we lean the gimbal forward, it should stay like this. So as you can see, it's going right, so center of gravity is on the right side. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to unlock this knob here and slide this part to the left. Little bit to left. Little bit to right. And there you go. Our pan axis balancing is done as well. So we did all 3 axis balancing. We are done. Now we're gonna go ahead, put all the locks on open position and turn on our gimbal. We unlock all 3 axes and now we're gonna turn on the gimbal just by long pressing this power button on the right side here. And our gimbal is on. You will see the small display turning on with the menu. And when you first time turn it on, as you can see, it's gonna do the auto tuning of the gimbal motors itself. It's just gonna take 10-15 seconds and that's it. And there you go. The calibration is done. It's ready to use. Let me quickly go through the buttons and the joysticks on the gimbal and about their functions. We can start with the knob here. This knob is multifunction knob. At the moment, it is set to adjust the pan movement, but I can change it to tilt or roll as well by just pressing this multifunction knob button here. One click is gonna go to the roll axis. So when I move the knob, it's going to control the roll axis of the gimbal. And when I press one more time, it's going to go to the tilt move. So it's going to control the tilt axis of the gimbal when I move the knob. So this is the easiest way to set up the multifunction knob movement. Of course, you can also control it from the menu. And right next to it, we have the FPV button. That's the quick button for FPV follow mode. When we press once, it's going to go to FPV mode, and press again, it's going to exit from the FPV mode. It allows you to change the follow mode to FPV follow mode quickly. It follows in roll axis, it follows in tilt axis, and it follows in pan axis. And along with FPV, we have different follow modes as well. And we can reach that from the small touch screen on the gimbal. Left bottom corner, we click and choose the first option, pan follow. So pan follow, gimbal follows only in the pan axis. It does not follow the roll or tilt. Second, we have PTF, pan and tilt follow mode. Gimbal follows in pan axis and as well as tilt axis, but not in roll axis. Third option, we have lock. It does not follow any movement in any axis. And the last follow option is the flash follow mode. It's just like FPV, but the gimbal reacts faster than the FPV. And we have this trigger button here, and the function of it, if you press 3 times, it's gonna swap it to selfie mode. Just like that. And if you press 3 times again, it's gonna exit the selfie mode, go back to its original position. And if you press it 4 times, it's gonna change the position of the roll axis, move it to front and back. Just like that. And we have the F1 button here. If you press it twice, it's gonna change it to vertical shooting mode. So now we are on the vertical shooting mode. Press it twice again, it's gonna go back to original position. And right under the touch screen, we have the joystick, which allows us to control the gimbal in any axis. Push it up and down, it's gonna control it in the tilt axis. If the right and left, it's gonna let us move in the pan axis. And right next to our joystick, we have 2 more buttons. One is shutter. Of course, after connecting the gimbal to the camera via Bluetooth or cable, you can start and stop recording. And we have the M button. This allows us to change the follow mode quickly instead of doing it from the touch screen. And we have the F2 button right here. If you press it once, it's gonna lock the touch screen. It is kinda for avoiding any unintentional touch on the screen and ruining the video. And of course, we have here the power button, and right next to power button, we have the USB Type-C charging port. And the port we have here is not for charging, it's for camera or mobile phone connection. And another function of the trigger button, if you click twice, it's gonna center the gimbal. Just like that. And of course, what we have here is one of the most important thing and one of the most important reason we actually purchased this gimbal, AI tracking. Before we start with the AI tracking, I want to mention about the mobile applications you need to download. We have 2 mobile applications. One will control the gimbal. Second will control the mobile phone if we ever use the gimbal with mobile phone. That second application will allow us to control the camera with our hand gestures, and the AI tracking system, it's gonna start recording, stop recording. It will be easy for us to control without actually trying to use the phone itself. So the first application is called Scorp, which allows us to control the gimbal. I have the second mobile. I want to show you how it works. Once we open the application via Bluetooth, it's gonna connect to each other, and we just choose the gimbal from the app. There's one cool feature I want to show you. I really liked it, and I'm sure you're gonna like it too. Sorry folks, I had to take 10-15 minutes break because while I was using the application, it gave me the message of there's a new firmware update, so I had to do that. It was for the gimbal and for motor firmware, which took about 15 minutes. So now we are back. And meanwhile, I had to swap the phones while I was doing the update. So we can continue where we left off. So after successfully connecting our mobile device to the gimbal, we go to our app and we choose the Scorp Mini 2 device. And now I'm going to show you a very cool feature, how we can control the gimbal with our phone. First, there's the touchscreen joystick, how we can control it. We can control pan and tilt movement. We can also quickly bring it to selfie mode and also swap it to vertical shooting. And what is even cooler, we can control the gimbal without touching. So all it takes is a gyro of the phone. With one press to this button, now you see I'm able to control the gimbal on pan and tilt axis. How cool is that? And of course, our mobile application is very useful. There are lots of other features we can use. We can even control the knob settings, like how we change the settings of the knob on the gimbal. We can control it from our phone. And we can also do the camera balancing and the motor tuning of the gimbal easily. And many other features, such as change the follow speed, horizontal calibration, button settings, etc. So the application is very useful, and it is Fuse Scorp application. And second application is Fuse On. That application allows us to control the camera of the phone if you are using the gimbal with mobile phone. So now let's go ahead and try the feature we all been waiting to see, AI tracking. Let me set the gimbal like this so you can also see the screen of the phone. Let's start with the AI tracking and the hand gestures that we need to use. The first hand gesture we need to use for AI tracking to start is this. And now I'm able to see the green LED light right under the AI tracking eye. So whenever I move in a pan and tilt axis, it's gonna follow me. It is super cool. This gimbal with this AI tracking, it's exactly your cameraman. You are on your own, you're out there, recording your video, and you need someone to control the camera. Not anymore. So with this AI tracking on the gimbal, you have your cameraman. You don't need anyone's help. And to stop AI tracking, all I have to do is the same hand gesture. So now it stops. And second hand gesture is to control the mobile phone's camera. I just need to show palm of my hand. It's gonna count from 3 and it will blink the green LED light and it will start video recording already. I don't have anyone behind the camera. I'm on my own outside. All I have to do, show palm of my hand, and it's gonna start the video recording. And with this hand gesture, now the follow mode is on. I don't need second person. So overall, this gimbal is really one of the best options out there. The build quality is great. It definitely doesn't give you the feeling of cheap materials. Like, it's really solid and rigid materials used, and the functionality of the gimbal is absolutely mind-blowing. As I said, AI tracking on its own is just one of the most important features it can offer you. So with the price you will pay for this gimbal and the features you're gonna have, it is really mind-blowing. It's just great. And of course, unlike other expensive options you have, such as DJI, this gimbal already comes with 2 handles, which gives you more flexibility while you are doing your video shootings. So you don't need to have additional attachments for flexible usage of the gimbal. And of course, it's not just for your mobile phone, which you can use it in vertical and horizontal position. It is great for mirrorless cameras and also for action camera. With the same gimbal, you can use it with 3 different devices, and the payload is not so bad either. It is 1.2 kilogram. With 1.2 kilogram load, you can use it with lots of mirrorless cameras and different types of lenses. If you are looking for gimbal, I can highly recommend Fiutech Scorp Mini 2 gimbal for you. It's a great option to consider. I will leave the link in the video description. Go ahead, check that out. And if you have any questions or inquiries about the product, don't forget to write it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and find it useful for your research for gimbals, don't forget to hit the like button and follow me for more videos. Thanks for watching. I will see you on my other videos. Stay safe.